Welcome to Resource PNG. Papua New Guinea's potential as an exporter of energy has been highlighted as a possible major industry. However, to ensure this, there has to be a policy in place to guide how the country's energy sources are developed. With this in mind, two key government departments have combined to spearhead the development of the country's national energy policy. In recent years, there has been a gradual change in focus towards new energy sources for Papua New Guinea. And with PNG blessed with an abundant range of energy sources to choose from, there is now a push to develop a policy to oversee the development of these sources. The Department of Public Enterprises, together with the Department of Petroleum and Energy, this week hosted the final consultative workshop on the national energy policy. With the theme, Transforming the Energy to Secure PNG's Prosperity, participants were encouraged to put forward ideas that could assist in ensuring that the policy caters for all stakeholders.
The biggest thing that is required now to drive the country into the future is not oil or oil in itself. It's not gas or gas in itself. It's not the sun or any other thing. It's a combination of how we can be able to put together the energy in our bodies, in our mind, to develop a combination of how we can be able to harness all the sources of producing energy that are available in this country and find out how all different sources of generating energy will transform this country. Firstly, we must give energy to the people of Papua New Guinea. I told PNG Power, people said, that's why I thought, PNG Power is no longer the subject of discussion. The subject of discussion is how 90% of Papua New Guineans can have access to energy. From the sun, from the rivers, from the wind, from the waves, from oil, from gas. I don't care, from cooking grass or cooking trees or whatever. People must have power for geothermal. So this is the direction of the policy. Firstly, you may identify, and I think we already know that Papua New Guinea is a unique country that has got all the different, everything that God has put on this earth, where we can use to source the production of energy is in this country alone.
According to Minister Micah, the plan is to have the national energy policy presented to National Executive Council for approval and tabled in Parliament during the November sitting.
So I tell you, there's not many countries in the world who have all these available sources of energy that Papua New Guinea has, and this policy is now going to look at how the government can partner with private investors and landowners who own the land and the rivers and all bush, on how we can partner together and ensure that we broaden the base for producing power by tapping into all these sources. And then you may distribute industrial power 90% of the country so that our country can step up into its next level of modernization and developing the quality of life of our people through making power available to everybody.
However that works out is a matter of policy discussion and deliberations. And we will have the first consultation in-house, internally within the department by this week. Our consultants are coming up from New Zealand and we'll have that consultation this week. And by November, we'd like to get it up to a cabinet. So we have between now and November to have a public consultation. So hopefully by September next month, we'll have that consultation, public consultation, and in October wrap it up. So it goes to the cabinet. So it empowers our landowners, and in a way it'll help to free up the land as well as empower the landowners so they can become equity partners as well as mobilizing the land and free it up for development purposes. Hooray! You've seen the response from oil shirts. Oil shirts is here, Inter Oil is here, Repsol is here, ExxonMobil is here. The major players in the hydrocarbon sectors are here. You've heard participants from within geothermal, ITA was talking about it. You've heard representation from the landowners. You've heard representation from the PNG Power is here. So the major energy players are here. And the government is here, the landowners are here. So I think we have the right mixture of, and the cross-section of the critical stakeholders to drive this policy forward. So I think there's participation also from the donor agencies. We have ADB, we have the World Bank represented here, and the World Bank has given us very good comments, and these comments are incorporated into the policy in this version, the second version. The important thing is this, that as alluded to by the World Bank, PNG is one of the few countries in the world that has a comprehensive, or at least a draft, comprehensive energy policy in its draft stage. And hopefully by the end of this day, we'll adopt it as energy policy for the country and get it to cabinet, get it sanctioned in parliament, and we should have an energy policy that should go forward. And not only a policy, we have a plan that really lays out the implementation schedules and what needs to happen in those different sectors in terms of human resource development, in terms of utilization of the energy, in terms of how we stagger those development of different energy mix, hydrocarbons or geothermals or hydropower or solar, wind, tidal, even ocean. How would we harness all of those things, you know, and then biomass basically. And we have private sector now participating in the Allsets, for instance, is doing a biomass project in Malacca.
You're watching Resource PNG. Within the past 2 weeks, agriculture has been in the spotlight with major announcements. Among these has been the announcement of a ban in several fruits and vegetables. But there is also a push to revive traditional agriculture commodities. Coffee is one of them. According to Agriculture Minister Tommy Tomskol, the national government has in place a plan to revive the coffee industry in PNG. This comes on the back of dropping prices in coffee as well as the aging trees, which has been a concern for the agriculture sector.
And so the factors that determine the rise and fall of the industry is both caused by factors that is in country and factors that is outside of the country. Obviously, if you were to evaluate the success of the industry since coffee was introduced into Papua New Guinea and became formally a part of the formal sector industry, you would go back. I think you would comfortably, I would go back to, let's say, about 69. The standards of we produce are healthy for the consumption of our people and for those who also want to consume. So we've got to address that apart from ensuring that those produce are traded on a fair trade market. So there must be fair trade in the marketplace, and that's what we want to ensure by developing price mechanisms that we can invisibly control the price and allow everyone to participate in the marketplace without creating monopoly for a few. So the price we pass on to consumers must be fair, must be affordable, and the product must have standards.
The sector is going through a reform process, through the Financial and Expenditure Review that was conducted in 2013-14. And government approved it. So we've come up with legislation, the Agriculture Administration Adjustment Act. It's a bill still. We've got feedback from the state solicitor, and the corrections have been made to go back there for them to issue a certificate of necessity, based on which it will go to NEC for approval and then the Parliament. We put provision of extension services as quite vital. It's critical. And according to our minister, that's the spine of the sector. And so research that is coming out of our research and institutions, commodity boards, needs to be packaged in such a way that it's taken to the farmers where it matters. That we want to empower our farmers through training programs, capacity building, to make sure that they produce or improve their farming practices so that they generate and produce the produce that will generate income to improve their lives.
Welcome back to Resource PNG. It's now time to take a look at some news from the resource sector. Newcrest Mining has released its financial results for the 2014-2015 full year. In a statement released to the market, the company announced a statutory profit of 546 million Australian dollars, around 1.08 billion kina. According to Newcrest PNG Country Manager Peter Aitzi, Newcrest's overall operating and financial performance was a major improvement compared to recent years. However, 2 fatalities at Hidden Valley and 1 at the Telfer operations in Western Australia overshadow the positive outcome. While both Lihir and Hidden Valley achieved their annual production targets, operating costs at both sites are still too high. And according to Mr. Aitzi, with the gold price remaining low, the priority of the company is on reducing costs to safely maximize cash flow.
Trivedi says the weather information they have predicts that PNG will feel the worst of the El Nino conditions in the first quarter of next year. The impact of the El Nino is already being felt around the country. Trivedi says the challenging aspect of El Nino will be that while other parts of PNG gets dry, other places will have more rain than usual.
People need to be prepared for a range of different ways in which their own communities will be impacted. So it's not an easy message to get across, but we all know, as leaders in our society in Papua New Guinea, that we have to redouble our efforts. We have to be creative.
He says in terms of disaster preparedness in the country, it is a work in progress that demands a lot of coordination and a system that is able to quickly respond to the needs of those affected.
But in the meantime, we need to make sure that whatever gardens people have, they're supported to grow food, they're supported to try and preserve and protect clean water sources. People are supported and educated and awareness raised to make sure they're doing everything in their power not to waste water, not to waste resources, to protect and grow the food crops that will give us, that don't require large amounts of water and so on.
The UN is continuing to work closely with the National Disaster Office to ensure that PNG is better prepared for natural disasters.
So we need to do a lot of education work. We need our systems to work better. We need public servants who are really responsive to people, and we need national, local and international systems working together. And all of that is work in progress. It's never quite finished.
The poultry projects cost over 80,000 kina and were funded by the national government under the Public Investment Program for Tolokuma Mine. Part of that money was used to build sheds to house 15 piglets and bring in 6 boxes of chicks to start up the projects.
It will by making easy lo mipla mama lo working lily market lo mipla or salim go out whereby like coins or lily coins lily toya lo buy soap or buy kaige lo piginini kolos lo piginini.
The WIM initiative commenced in 2012 and later gave birth to several other projects. The Tapini women are mainly subsistence farmers and sell their produce to earn money. But the establishment of these poultries is expected to open up other business opportunities.
Suppose company come back lo no more operations can by plus salikam lo company or salim go lo big la market.
Meanwhile, operations at the Tolokuma mine remains temporarily closed following a 100 million kina loss the company made early this year. MTV News understands the mine developer Petroleum will soon be concluding discussions with a new mine developer.
Now to beautiful Madang, where it will be the hub of activities for the 5th National Mining Emergency Response Challenge from the 23rd to the 25th of this month. This year, the challenge is being hosted by Ramoniko MCC. Mineral Resources Authority Chief Inspector of Mines, Mohan Singh, recently spoke about the upcoming challenge.
You know, these sort of challenges are held across other jurisdictions, across Australia and other elsewhere in the world. So I think it makes sense that PNG mining industry also catches up, you know, with others. Participation has changed, participation levels have changed, skill levels have changed. So involvement has increased a lot. You know, we now, even ladies team now participate as emergency response challenge teams.
And Resource PNG will bring you highlights of the 5th National Mining Emergency Response Challenge in the coming weeks. And this is where we end this episode of Resource PNG. If you want to contribute to the program, get in touch with us via email on resourcepng@mtv.com.pg. To view this edition again, log on to www.mtv.com.pg, where you will find a link to the Resource PNG page. Until the next time, pleasant viewing.